it's time for me to do another What's My Physical TBR video. I did one of these, I don't actually remember when I did this, but I thought it was time we did it again. The stacks around me here that you can see, there's one down here. They are the books from my TBR cart, which we're going to go through first. And then I'm going to take you through each shelf and we're going to talk about the books that I haven't read on my shelf. I am aware that I have a lot of books, my physical TBR. I'm really trying to focus on the physical TBR this year. However, do I have an Amazon book unboxing video coming out in a few weeks? Maybe, but we're not going to talk about it. So I'm going to go through as quick as I can. I don't want to be here all day. I'm not going to give a synopsis or anything about all these books because we will be here for about 3 hours and nobody really wants to see that. So, Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks. I have The Problem with Forever by Jennifer L. Armentrout. The Storm by Maggie Gates. The Game Plan by Michaela Smeltzer. Cash by Jessica Peterson. You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogel. Unsteady by Peyton Curran. The Love of My Afterlife by Christy Greenwood. Night Shift by Annie Crown. Cross the Line by Simone Soltani. Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope. I also have another one of her books, but it's in here somewhere, I don't know where. Ghosted by J.M. Darhauer. In a Jam by Kate Canterbury. Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellors isn't my book. I just have had it for so long because I haven't read it yet, but it's not my book. Trading the Heart by Paisley Hope, the other Paisley Hope book. The Mixtape by Brittany Sherry. And The Favourites by Lynn Fargo. Red, White and Red Blue by Casey McQuiston. I also have her other book in here somewhere. There's no organization to any of this. Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. The XX by Erin Sterling. How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackey. I don't know. One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. The Roommate by Rosie I forgot to say it. Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. Takedown by Carly Walker. Our Greatest Mistake by Hannah Cohen. The Intimacy Experiment, also by Rosie Danan, I think it's Danan. And Sally, no, and then Normal People by Sally Rooney. The Roughest Draft by Emily Wibberley and Austin, is this Sigmund Broca? I don't know. The Road Trip, The No Show, and then The Flat Share, all by Beth O'Leary. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. The Selection and the Elite by Kira Cass. Think Believe Unfinished by Rebecca Yaros. Every Last Word by Tamara Arlen Stone. Shipwrecked by Olivia Dade. Cute by Meryl Winsner. Booked on a Feeling by J.C. Lee. I Used to Be by Amber Smith. Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and Take a Hint, Danny Brown, all by Talia Hibbert. 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. And Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. They are all the books on the TBR cart. And now we're going to go through the shelves. I'm going to move all these books out of the way because there's a lot of them and I kind of just threw them everywhere. Starting with the top shelves, on top of my bookshelves, like up here, I have the Harry Potter series sitting on top just because it didn't fit where I had it anymore. I had to kind of do a bit of moving around because I was running out of bookshelf space and I needed more space for my fiction books. So Harry Potter series is only sitting on top because I don't want my books to get some damage, and they're in like a box because I got like a box set or whatever. So they're also unread, that's why I'm mentioning it. I also do want to say a lot of my fantasy is not read because I just like to buy books and I don't read them. I'm scared to read fantasy, so that's why a lot of these are not read. Divine Rivals and Rootless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Twilight by Marissa Meyer. Nope, Stephanie Meyer. Dance of Thieves by Mary A. Pearson. One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. Powerless, Powerful and Reckless by Lauren Roberts. The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. The Six of Crows duology, and then I have the whole Agatar series and the whole Throne of Glass series. That is so well, that's so many books. On the shelf I have Legendary and Finale by Stephanie Gerber. This one's about to be read, so that's almost off the physical TBR. I'm reading it today. Then I have the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy by Stephanie Gerber, and then I have the Prison Hero trilogy by Lynette Noni. I have Heartless, Renegades and Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer, the Scythes trilogy, the whole Shatter Me series right there, and then I have the Serpent and Wings of Night and the Daughter of No Worlds trilogy by Krista Broadbent. And moving on to the thriller shelf, I know like some of these are not in the right order. They should not be up here, but that's okay. The Trilogy Devious trilogy by Maureen Johnson, and then there's also the spin-off of that, The Box in the Woods, The God of the Woods, then My Husband's Wife and Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. And then I have Survive the Night by Riley Sager, The Secret History by Donna Tartt, If We Were Villains by Emma Rio, and Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, Murder in the Family by Cara Hunter, The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, The Maidens by Alex Spikelides, I think, and There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. This is completely all unread. So I have The Predator by Brunex, and I have Haunting and Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton, There Are No Saints, There Is No Devil, and then the whole Real Prince series by Sophie Lark. Actually, I think there's one more out that I don't have. Lights Out by Navessa Allen, and then the entire Never After series by Emily McIntyre. And then the shelf above that is actually all completely read, so we can move on. On this shelf I have Culty, Underlock, Wait For It, All Roads Lead Here, The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, all by Mariana Zapata. Then I have You Would Have You by Jessica Joyce, and then Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. So moving on to this shelf, I have Norga's Off Script and It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan, and then I have all my Stephanie Archer books, and then Flight, Protect and Honor, which these are all by 3 different authors. I don't know how this series works, obviously, because I haven't read it. Then over here I have Set on You, X's, Nose and the Catch by Amy Lee or Leah, The Game Changer by Lana Ferguson, and Overruled by Lana Ferguson. And then I have the whole Sparrow Falls series and the whole Eden series. And then moving down I have The Paradise Problem, Something Wilder, The Unhuman Nurse, My Favorite Half Day Stand, Soulmate Equation, Josh and Hayden's Look Out Not Dating, and The Honey Don't List, all by Christina Lauren. The American Roommate Experiment and the Long Game by Elena Armas. Charlie Loving Cliches and Marriage for One by Ella Mays. The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore and The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. I have all my Megan Quinn books, and then I go into my B.K. Morrison books, and then If Only He'd Been With Me and If Only I Told Her by Laura Nellin. And then on the bottom shelf I have Things I Wanted to Say But Never Did, Promises I Meant to Keep, I'll Always With You by Monica Murphy, and then all of my Tessa Bailey books are unread except for Happen One Summer, and then I read another one for books but I unhauled it because I didn't like it. And over here I have Archer's Voice, More Than Words, Grayson, Val and Travis by Mia Sheridan, Collide and Spiral by Bal Cabra, I don't know how to say it, and then Savor It by Tara Duet. I just recently DNF'd Funny Feelings. So then I have all my Colleen Hoover books, so I haven't read Hopeless, Losing Hope, Finding Cinderella, All Your Perfect, Finding Perfect, and Without Merit. And then moving across again, I have my empty TBR cart is over here, and then down here is just colouring books and colours and whatever, so I'm not showing that. I did DNF Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh, so I got like halfway through it. I think my bookmark is actually still in here. I got this far in. I do want to go back to the series, I think, and reread it from the beginning, so whatever. So Keeping 15, Saving 6 by Chloe Walsh, and then I've read the rest of the shelf actually. Moving up I have Buckeye by Patrick Ryan, A Little Life by, I don't know how to say the author's name, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, Bunny by Mona Awad, Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, and My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Atessa Mosfeh. And then moving up again I have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, One True Loves and Also Maybe in Another Life, also by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and then I have My Friends, Beartown, Anxious People by Frederick Bachman, and then I have Winter Gardens and Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. Then moving over from that I have the entire Addicted and Callaway Sister series unread, obviously that's the point of this video. I have my Magnolia Park series by Jessica Hastings and also Tell Me Your Life and Conditions of Will. And then over here I have my Lucy Score books. I have By a Thread, Maggie Moves On, Story of My Life, and Forever and Never. And in this shelf I have all my Elle Kennedy books. So I have the Off Campus series, Bury You series, this series, which is children from this series, Go-Girl Complex, and Bad Reputation. And then I've read this one of the Kings of Rittenhouse series. I have Fearless King, Reckless King, Heartless King, and Ruthless King unread. Then moving up I have my Elsie Silver shelf. So I have Hopeless, which I'm going to read. I think I'm starting this one also really soon, so that'll be gone. And I have the Off to the Races series, I forget what it's called. And then the, what's this series called? The Rose Hill series, also by Elsie Silver, obviously. And then above that I have all of my Anna Huang books. So the ones I haven't read is The Striker, King of Envy, and then the, I think it's called the If Love series, but I'm not too sure. Then onto the shelf I have Collided, Wrecked, and Redeemed by Lauren Asher. And then Out on a Limb, Out of the Woods, Next of Kin, Next to You, and People Watching by Hannah Bodum Young. And then moving over from that I have Mile High, The Right Move, Caught Up, Play Along, Round It Back by Liz Tom Ford, One Goal of Summer by Carly Fortune, Butcher and Blackbird, and Leather and Art by Brendan Weaver, and then Still Being a Lotus by Jennifer Hartman. And then moving to the top of the shelf I have my Becca Mac series, the, what's it called, Playing for Keeps series I think. All of them unread, and then I have all of my Candy Steiner books, which I don't know what this series is called, and then Love Letter Whiskey, and then the Red Zone Rivals series. And then on to the final shelf for today's video, I have Love Theoretically, Loath to Love You. I've read the first 2 novellas in this one, so I just need to read the third one. And then Bride, Not in Love, Checkmate, Deep End, Problematic Summer Romance. Then I have my Kennedy Ryan books, so I have This Could Be Us and Can't Get Enough, and then Hookshot, Longshot, and Blockshot. Then I have Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone, and then Great Big Beautiful Life and Funny Story by Emily Henry. Oh, and You and Me on Vacation. And there are all the books on my physical TBR. I think it's around 300. Maybe I'll put the number on screen. If I don't put it on screen, then I think it's around 330, which I know is really bad. And I have way too many books and way too many unread books. So that is that. I am trying really hard to read more and not buy books, except for the book unboxing that's coming in a couple of weeks. But other than that, I'm not buying any more books for the rest of the year, I swear. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if any of these are in your physical TBR, which ones I should read next. I think I'm gonna do a little series where I try and like get through my physical TBR and try to just get to the books that maybe I'm putting off, or I've been on my TBR for years at this point. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you so soon in the next one.